There was a point at which Kid Rock went from being a musician to an icon to a one-man movement, and that's and a friend of ours. And that was the moment we want to sit down once again with him in studio and check in on how he's doing changing America. Great to see you.
Great to see you.
So I remember doing my text right before bed one night, and I read that Bud Light has decided to go tranny. That's kind of distressing. The next day, with like 12 hours later, you released the video of you executing the Bud Light with the carbine.
Fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
And then months later, Bud Light effectively apologizes, doesn't go out of business, closes 2 bottling plants. But it is terrible for the guys who work there. But then comes back and hands the UFC $100 million basically to say, we're sorry, we will get better. That seems like a win to me.
I think it could be. I think they got some work still to get, some of that base that they lost. I think to get them back. Like, I've said a few times, I'd love to see them get triple fratty.
Yeah.
They've ever been. Like, hit it head on, kind of make light of the situation, self-deprecation, but, at the end of the day, when you step back and look at it, like, yeah, they deserved a black eye, and they got one. They made a mistake.
How did you know you moved so fast on that? I mean, a lot of things going on.
It was like a lot of people just pissed me off. I keep a lot of beer on the property, a lot of light beer. Bud Light was one of them. And I was like, I know who my consumers are.
Yes.
So I was just doing a little marketing to my folks. It was spot on for me, but also a fun excuse to get my machine gun out and have some fun, but also to make a statement like, hey, a lot of us aren't cool with this. I believe a lot of people fought and died for people's right to be whoever they want. But when you're that type of brand, and you know who your consumers are, how this kind of started, I think, when I thought about it, is they moved part of their corporate offices from St. Louis to New York City.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Then they start hiring these Ivy League progressive, people to work for them who don't know shit about working class people or middle America in this country.
Unhappy women, yeah.
And so somebody wasn't watching the hen house. They're riding high and mighty as number one, and a fox gets in. Yes, it was a mistake. So do I want to hold their head underwater and drown them because they made a mistake? No, I think they got the message. Like, hopefully other companies get it too. But, at the end of the day, I don't think the punishment that they've been getting at this point fits the crime. It's like, I would like to see people get us back on board and become bigger, because that's the America I want to live in.
Well, it's better to improve than destroy.
Yeah.
So that seems like a win. We were talking about this off camera, and you said,
what would that say about us as like-minded people?
Yeah.
Who were like, hey, cut it out. What's the matter with you? That, if we brought them back up, that's kind of the America I want to live in. Like, it's not wrong with giving a spanking. The kid does something wrong or tries, maybe he's going to harm themselves, but you don't spank them for the rest of their life. You kind of, someone gets taught a lesson. They say we made a mistake. All right, man, let's move on. I mean, we've done it for a whole lot worse. What about Japan, Germany?
You drop 2 atom bombs on Japan, then you rebuild it, then you become allies.
You can't say it enough. Who's getting hurt in all these boycotts and stuff when people make mistakes, this cancel culture crap. It's the working class people who don't have any dog in the fight.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we don't want to hurt these people. Message sent. All right, let's move on. Here's a bag of ice. Put it on that shiner. Let's talk about it. Come on.
I noticed that is not a Bud Light you're drinking. I saw that getting poured. Have you had one since this all started?
Dude, my whole life has become Bud Light. It's like, I got it stacked to the ceiling because every one of my friends thinks it's a joke to bring me a 12-pack.
Oh, so you just got a lot of free beer out of it.
Yeah, or shove them in my golf bag. They pop up everywhere. It's like, it's kind of become, a fun thing for my friends to mess with me on. But, I'll drink any kind of cold free beer. Let's put it that way.
So that's like your main criterion, cold free.
Cold and free.
Trump. You've seen Trump a lot recently. How's he doing?
Toughest son of a bitch on the earth. He's doing great. It's incredible.
We
just got to spend some time with him.
Yeah.
Which you seem to be having more fun than anybody in that.
I was having.
You watch that video back, and we're walking to the ring, and everyone's looking all tough, and you're like, you're like, this is the greatest day of my life.
I loved it.
That was so much fun.
It was amazing.
I love spending time with him, getting to know him. Since he became president, the first few months, having dinner at the White House with him, and from there on, we've just really hit it off. And I can relate to him in a lot of ways as somebody who might speak out of turn a little bit, say what's on his mind, but I think if you look at his track record and who he is as a whole, there's a lot more good there than anything. And I think people, I could go both ways. I always say with me, you can go on the internet and you can make me out to be some crazy wild party animal who just has his middle fingers in the air and doesn't care, or you can be someone who's a single father who loves his family, loves his country, does a lot of philanthropy. It's all there for the taking. And, I try to see the good in people. I haven't always executed that correctly or, on spot. But, whatever it is, when I give it, it's 100% real.
Well, so without betraying the details of your conversations, you've been with Trump a bunch of times since he got indicted, and the world has kind of crashed in around him. How does he seem?
Can't tell.
Really?
No. I mean, when we're golfing or we're hanging out in different scenarios here and there, it's his spirits are always up, and he's always talking about this country. He's always talking about this country and how he wants to win for it. He likes to win at anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything. When we're golfing, I won $100 from him at the UFC. I don't think he was too happy about it. But
what'd you bet on?
We were betting on fights. We're just picking guys, to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And man, somebody that's in that office, in any office, that wants to win for this country, I'm in. I've never seen anybody who wants to win for this country like that guy. And I don't think we'll ever see anything like it in our lifetime. To me, he's the greatest president we've had.
And he's unaffected, in your experience, by everything that's happening.
Oh, is he pissed off? Sure.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem broken at all.
I don't want to speak out of school, but, yeah, who's not going to hem and haw a little bit about the people that are doing this to him? These people in New York. It's a freaking joke.
Yeah. I
mean, one Google search on Zillow, property in Palm Beach. There's a couple acres that comes up on the water. It's $200 million. Yeah. And they're like, Mar-a-Lago's only worth $17 million. It's like, well, you are a stupid son of a bitch if you say that.
Yeah.
He takes loans from the bank, whatever. He pays them all back. Everybody makes money. There's no crime here.
Yeah.
I just, they're just, it's completely, anybody who can't see they're fucking with him is just blinded.
Yeah.
I know the guy speaks out of turn a little bit, says some things. I can relate.
Yes.
I do it myself, quite often because I just say what's on my mind, and I can get that. But I don't know how you look at his track record and what he did and how he had this country fired on all cylinders when he was in office. Everybody working, our military is the strongest. He's leading with, strength and borders, under control, just energy independent. You could go on and on. I don't get it. I understand because it seems like it's a lot of women. Like in my life and stuff, they're like, well, I don't like the way he talks. It's like, come on, man. you're not putting him in the office to hear him talk nice. How many years have we had of that? People that it seems like everybody, because everything is very polarized. I get it. And speaking of Bud Light, it's like I wish those guys could take this opportunity. Maybe they could start a little civil discourse with the negative that's happened to them. Maybe they could figure out a way with that beer to kind of maybe bring people together a little bit. I don't know. I don't think they're going to hire me as the head of their marketing anytime
They probably
soon.
should.
Yeah, well,
Have they approached
I like
you?
my day job.
By the way, did they ever call you after you opened up on them with a machine gun?
No, there's been some distributors
Yeah.
who who claim they know the people at top and this, that, and the other. And I said, man, I'll sit down with anybody, anytime. And, we actually got to talk to the CEO, me and Trump, the other night at the UFC fight.
Yeah, I was
He
there.
was standing behind me. I recognized, yeah, you were there. And I was like, it's kind of funny because I'm sitting there with Trump, and I'm like, hey, that dude behind us is the CEO of Anheuser-Busch. He's like, I want to go give him some shit. I'm like, ew. Trump's like, let's go. And actually, it was a really pointy conversation. That dude, his name's Brendan. He's in the CIA. He was a Marine.
Yeah.
He says when he got the videos of me shooting up the cans, he was hunting in Texas. I'm like, you sound like somebody I'd be friends with. Like, how'd you guys get this so wrong? And, I hate speaking out of turn when I have conversations with people, but I don't think would mind this. I was like, when you did that morning show, were you coached? And he's like, I was. I was like, fire that fucking person.
Yeah.
I was like, it's terrible. I was like, they asked you at one point, like, if you had the chance to send that can again, would you send it? And you go off in this, we've been supporting the ABCDLGBQ for 25 years. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you don't have to throw anybody under the bus. All you have to do is say, while we want everyone to enjoy our beer, we know who our consumer is, and we got that one wrong. We're going to double down. We hear you. Our bad. Just say that. Everyone would have been like, okay, you still got to eat a little crow. It's like if you ever had infidelity in your life, it's like you can't go to the person and just kind of sweep it under the rug and buy him a new ring or a car and think it's going to go, well,
No,
maybe a car. A car might work out.
The Guiltmobile.
You can't just sweep it under the rug, throw money at it, think it's going to go away. At some point, you got to be like, look, I screwed up. I got that one wrong. And then you probably still got to eat some crow for a while, which I think they have. Like I said, it's like, I don't want to be the face of crushing working class people's jobs, not their jobs, but their livelihoods.
Oh, I agree.
Think about people's livelihoods that work for that company that are just like, Jesus, what happened?
I know.
It didn't have any fight in it. I hate to see people losing their jobs at any level.
2 bottling plants closed. That's shocking.
Because they screwed up. They made a mistake. All right. I'm over it. I'm like I said, I'm not the type of person to kick a man when he's down.
I agree completely. Completely. How'd you wind up with Dolly Parton?
I've known her throughout the years here and there. Been friendly with her. She's just one of the greatest people on earth.
Really?
Oh, you never met anybody so positive in your life. And speaking of Dolly, we'll get into. She called me about doing the song. She wrote a song that she wanted to do with me, which ironically is about me cheating on her. I'm like, huh?
Had you ever cheated on her?
No, I haven't had the opportunity. I have not been given that opportunity yet. No, she's just the sweetest lady. I just read something on her where I've never heard the word hate come out of her mouth. Yeah. She just doesn't exist with her. She's just too sweet, too great. And I saw where she said, I hate cancel culture. I mean, that should sum it up right there. I think most people, reasonable people, you got your small percentage of extremists on both sides of this thing, and they make the most noise, and they get the most headlines because, they're the most polarized and they get the most clicks and views. I get it. I've played the game a little bit myself. I'm guilty of it. But I think most people, level-headed people with a shred of common sense are sick of all this stuff, this cancel culture and this, God forbid, if you say something that's a little bit wrong or ruffle somebody's, feathers, that you're going to lose your job or your social standing. Or
you think it's going away? Think it's reached its peak?
I think it has. It's going to be tough with this going into this election year.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get real polarizing again, and I don't think that's a bad thing in politics. It always kind of is.
Yeah.
But everything else, it's like all my friends who are Democrats, in my business, I have a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's the diverse one.
Yeah.
You're the one that you want inclusion. They don't want to include me, people on their talk shows and all this stuff anymore. It's like, I'm the one that needs inclusion. I'm the weird one here. I don't fit the narrative and in this place of all these Hollywood and entertainers and singers and stuff like that.
It doesn't seem to bother you at all, though.
No.
But has it affected your relationships? I never heard you say that it has.
No, I think maybe one relationship. That's about it. But anyone I talk to, have over for dinner, hang with it that thinks differently. Like, we always find more in common.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I love Trump. They'll be like, I can't stand the guy. I'll be like, cool. You want to move on? Talk about something else? Yeah. All right. We find some other things that are in common.
So, I mean, Dolly Parton took some crap for working with you. She doesn't seem to care.
No. I think she handled it beautifully. She's like, I love everybody. Pretty simple answer. I mean, that's what I took away from it. She said more than that, but I took away, she said she loved everybody. And I was really proud to call her a friend at that moment. I think we need more of that in this country, especially coming from people like me, because I know sometimes I am the polarizing one. I am the loudest voice in the room.
Well, you do have a machine gun.
Oh, yeah, but why wouldn't you?
I totally agree. Who are you going on tour with this summer?
Thank you for asking. So me and Jason Aldean are doing...
What's he like?
Jason, great kid. Known him for years, since he was first coming up. Great guy, great patriot, talented singer, musician. So we're going to do 7 festivals. I see a need when I partnered with these people, Premier Entertainment. It's called Rock the Country, rockthecountry.com. I see a need for a big portion of this country that's underserved, entertainment-wise. And that's pretty prevalent when you see the success of shows like Yellowstone and Duck Dynasty, things like that. People are just starving for it. So we wanted to go out and give, hardworking people that love this country a music festival. Yeah. Something for them. Like, come show your patriotism, just like they do at my shows, but do with a force of people. We got different lineups, and there's 7 small towns.
What are they?
It's places like Ocala, Florida, Mobile, Alabama, Rome, Georgia. There's Kentucky and Carolina. Like, rock and roll's not been too kind to my memory.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. But there's 7 of them, Rock the Country, and then, we have people like Miranda Lambert on certain shows, Hank Williams Jr., Leonard Skinner, Brantley Gilbert, Travis Tritt, Nelly, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, just, a whole cast of characters, which, like I said, just trying to provide something for, these smaller towns where we have a lot more freedom to do things that we might not be able to do in the bigger cities, and especially to work with the local people there, whether it could be the police, firefighters, the city councils, whatever. We had all those people actually to my house in Nashville, just to all get on the same page because we want to make this experience great for these people. And we came up with the idea, let's have people that want to come from these towns, from these states. Some were senators, some were police chiefs, like I said, city council mayors. Let's have them up and break bread and just talk to them, try to get on the same page so we can try to create a great experience for people. Make no mistake, we would like to make some money out of this endeavor.
Yeah.
But, we want it to be a win-win. We want the cities to win, try to give back and do something good.
Well, that's
there.
going to sell out. I mean,
the pre-sales went on sale today. And
so 7 shows. Does that wear you out?
we're also doing, first, I did another business deal with the PBR, who does the rodeo,
Yeah.
professional bull riders, and we're doing Kid Rock's Rockin' Rodeo at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, where we're going to have rodeo teams compete against each other, and then I'm going to do music. I'm going to try. We're still figuring it out, but I want to make it more creative than some of the rodeos we played in the past, where the rodeo happens and then you play the show.
Yeah.
I'd like to kick the show off and have horses ripping around with American flags. Play something in the middle and I'd like to put midgets on mini bowls and stuff.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
Is that allowed in Dallas now?
Everything's allowed in Texas.
That's true.
So that's what we're doing. We're going to play Sturgis again this year, which I've played off and on for the last 20-some years, and that's my year. I think it's 9 shows.
That's amazing.
Work less, make more.
So the rodeo, have you ever been on any of the, have you ridden?
I mean, we have horses. I'm not.
You're not getting on a bull?
No. Getting out a bull. I'm
Why?
not jumping out of a plane. I'm not going up in an F-16. I'm good.
You've
I'll be right here when you.
had enough risk?
Yeah. I've made it this far.
Just big picture, you've not changed your views throughout all this last 6 years. You've been really direct. Have you lost anything? I mean, it's kind of an amazing story.
It's kind of funny. I always joke. I'm like, I'll do or say something. It's a little outrageous. It's people's panties in a bunch at some level. And somehow they give me more money for it.
So you're probably the only person who hasn't changed his views and hasn't been crushed.
I'm open to changing my views. If I don't know it all. I don't claim to. I'm not the Pied Piper.
No, but you don't seem to be moderating your views on anything. You just say what you think.
I say what I think. Yeah, and if I get something wrong, I'm cool enough to go back and be like, yeah, I had that one wrong. I can't remember when it's happened, but I'm not bigger than that. But I've been the same way since I was young, and since we'll call it my first successful, Devil Without a Cause CD came out. I was running my mouth. There's middle fingers on the CD. I haven't changed. Times have changed. Now you're not allowed to say that or do this. You have to be politically correct and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that ain't no fun.
So if you just ignore it, it just doesn't affect you? Is that the lesson?
I live by my main motto, which a good friend of mine, Rev Run, one of my heroes in music, told me years ago from Run DMC, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. That's where I choose to spend my time. And thank God, I've always been so big about family and friends because it's the oldest cliche. At the end of the day, that's what's really there for you. And I'm blessed every day to have the greatest family, the greatest friends on earth. And I'm glad that, I've really didn't let all this madness get in the way of that. I've always tried to be there and take care of them, and they've been there for me. And really, that's what it is.
And I met some of them, and I think that's right, but I judge a man by his dogs. I probably can't tell from this camera shot, but you brought a couple of your Boykins here.
Dixie.
Can we meet? You've got 2 spaniels here. Can you introduce one of them?
This is Delta, down here by you.
Okay.
Dixie, come here. Dixie, come here. Dixie's the little one. Come here. Come here, Dixie.
So these are Boykins.
She's a little one.
Hey.
She's a little one.
How old is Dixie?
She's old now. Was she 10?
That's amazing.
She's 10.
Do you go everywhere with him?
My fiance Audrey goes everywhere with him.
Are you bringing him on tour?
No. Select cities, maybe.
They don't like the tour.
Pyro freaks them out a little bit. Well, not Delta. She's trained on birds, so she doesn't mind a big shot.
Tell. They're amazing, amazing bird dogs. If you were to sort of, since you're pretty good at calling stuff, the next year, like a year from now, will be November 2024. What will things look like?
I don't know. I hope they look like, Trump's back in office, and I would love that we controlled, Congress, and that'd be a perfect case scenario for me, but that's so difficult for me. I know what I support and my views, but I'm really not Nostradamus when it comes to politics
Yeah.
or anything. I don't want to act like I know it all. I do study it. I probably watch a little more news than I should.
Yeah.
I got my views, but it's going to be interesting. I just don't see how, everyone's talking about, like, they can't run Biden against Trump. It's impossible.
Of course.
And if God forbid something did go wrong and Biden won, it would be for no other reason than just people's hatred for Trump.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't people just talking about policies? I don't need my president to be a saint. Just get the job done.
We haven't had any of those, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
But you said that if you were Bud Light, you would run a campaign bringing people together over your product.
Hey, maybe they should make a blue hat that says "Make Bud Light Great Again."
No, good point. But do you see like the division getting better or worse?
I honestly, I would hope that it gets a little better.
Yeah.
I see that with my friends. Like I said, I don't go around bragging about it. I probably got the most diverse band out there.
Yeah.
We have white people, hillbillies. We have black people. We have gay people. We got it all. Females,
you
men.
put white people and hillbillies in two different categories. Good.
But I see it just with my band where we all get along. We all joke about each other's backgrounds, our colors, our sexual preferences. Like, we just give each other shit all the time, and we get along. We're like family. We're not one of these bands that just is at each other's throats, fight.
Yeah.
We all love each other and always have. We accept that we're all different, and we're all just cool. And so I keep saying this. It's like, no one cares if you're gay anymore. We all got gay family members, friends, co-workers.
Right.
It's like, just shut up about it. Like, I'm not going to oh, you're gay? I'm not going to clap louder for you, all right? Just be cool, be gay. Shut up, it's fine. Like, no one cares. The transgender thing is just a weird one. I don't, it's like, leave our kids out of it, number one. But, to me, it looks like a mental illness.
Yeah.
That's what I see. But at the same time, like, that's who you want to be. A lot of people fought and died for it. Go for it. We can exist in, the same public spaces.
Yeah.
So be it, You're not going to be my first call to take out for a night out on the town, probably, but I'm probably not yours. It's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean? And if you're different and you're weird, make no mistake, you get treated differently. When I was young, I had my hair up to here. I had my pants sagging, running around, talking junk, and people gave me crap all the time, but I was trying to be seen. This and other. If you want to be seen and you're going to go out and be different like that and dye your hair blue and put a bunch of nose rings and stuff, people are going to look at you differently. Some people are going to tease you a little bit. Whatever happened to sticks and stones?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, he teased me. I'm going to cancel you and sue you and I'm going to tell on you. It's like we're raising pardon my language, we're raising like a complete, generation of fucking pussies.
Yeah. But that can't go on forever, right?
No, the pendulum always swings. I've seen that, at 52 years old, I've seen that in life. The pendulum swings.
Yeah. So last question before we go get a cigar with your friend John Daly. If you were to give advice to, a 22-year-old trying to enter the public sphere right now, what would it be?
What sphere? Entertainment-wise?
Either one. You're the guy who wants people to look at you. Okay, as you
well,
were 30
number
years
one,
ago.
work your ass off and be good at what you do. Be the best at it. And that takes a lot of time. It took me 15 years, in the trenches, riding around in vans with U-Haul trailers, playing every little gig for 50 people, this, that, and the other. It's the old cliche, the 10,000 hours. I think it's 20,000.
Yeah.
Work your butt off and try to be the best at what you do. Study your craft. Be knowledgeable about it. Surround yourself with good people. Don't hang out with knuckleheads. That doesn't lead to many good spots.
No, it doesn't.
So,
So, work hard.
Good.
Don't hang out with shitheads.
Yeah, and be good at what you do. Be the best at what you do.
Bobby, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker.
Good to see you, man.
Pleasure.
I'm coming this summer.
Come on.